Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering. Starting out, Marquis not even up yet. Tony Scaponi with a Saprazan Scary. It's common Acadian Mass. Actually see some Pauper play. Some of the combo decks there, like Zubera Storm in particular, but that gets wastelanded. It may be one of the weakest cards in the deck. It does come into play tapped, but it gives much needed acceleration. Runs so many City of Traders and Ancient Tombs. It's another land that can tap for 2. We've also seen it in the Mississippi River style Cascade decks. Of course, Wasteland took that out, really setting Tony back a bit. Jared, Dunk Depths build. Now using a Green Sun Zenith. Dryad Arbor. You guys say Zenith or Zenith? Not even sure how you'll tell me in the comments. Phyrexian Metamorph copying the 1/1. 4 life for that play. Gonna just get Swords to Plowshared, however. Not sure these life totals are correct. There we go. Oh, no, that was just for the Seagate Restoration. Now a 1 ring. Card is absolutely bananas. The baseline, basically, you're looking at Ancestral Recall plus Time Walk at a minimum versus most decks. Generally going to be getting 3 cards off of it, as it's very unlikely they'll be able to kill you with the protection from the ring on their turn. It needs to be a card like Thassa's Oracle. Or an effect like, hacking with Emrakul and obliterating your entire board. Destructible. Pretty unreal. Replace itself. Other copies also incredible. Setting that counter if necessary, if the life toll gets too high. Outland Liberator on Jared's side. Usually the type of card that could actually take out a problem artifact, but not the 1 ring. Transmute. Wow, this is about to get crazy. Coveted Jewel. I believe Echoing Depths had copied Wasteland, so this was the turn where things really needed to come together. Tony with Transmute Artifact, having enough blue mana. That is what the Saprazan Scary is about. We also see Otawara, Seagate Restoration. This is a much heavier blue count may have seen in some other decks. And Coveted Jewel, just unbelievably strong. A blue mana floating. Mox Opal online. Jared can potentially try and blow this Coveted Jewel up. Transmute Artifact, a tinker of sorts. And here, Jared's patience may have paid off. Transmute Artifact attempting to copy the Coveted Jewel, instead has to settle for a Grim Monolith. And another one, kind of stepping up. A little bit of mana. Copy Artifact. So many Grim Monoliths. Each of these basically just adding 1 extra mana. And now a paradoxical outcome. All of these cards coming back. A draw 5 in the middle of this turn. Will that be enough to continue going? The Candy Trail. 2 cards on top. Oh, and they're kept. That probably spells death. City of Traders into Grim Monolith. If Tony's happy with those top 2 cards, they are going to be good ones. Interesting. Urza's Saga. Fetchable card. And Storm count actually doesn't matter in this deck. This is not going to win with Storm. For those that haven't seen it, I won't spoil where this is going. It's nowhere good for Jared. Out of interaction. The Outland Liberator did stop things from being just comically ridiculous. If all of those copy effects were coveted jewels, the mana amount would have been the same, but every instance would have been an extra 3 cards in hand. Tony would be just up like 15 cards. Card did its best. Got to transmute again. Finding another coveted jewel. It's going to be very bad. All of those copy effects still in hand. Somebody let me know if our life totals are actually correct here. It looked earlier like Tony may have missed a little bit of life. We'll see if it would end up making a difference here in the end. Of course, he could always take different lines if he has different amounts of life available. Another transmute. This card, very strong. Basically a tinker in this shell. Fire playing all sorts of craziness in here. Paradox Engine. This is going to be completely out of hand every single time that Tony plays a spell here. Untap all of his non-land permanents, and now with the One Ring, watch out, he'll basically be able to draw his entire deck. Tap to draw, untap, draw 2. Now any card he casts is going to untap the One Ring, along with all of these other mana sources. And Jared actually conceding, just asking to see the win condition. And there we go. Emrakul. Uncounterable. Once that ball gets rolling, that is a wrap. Game 2, Jared will have the play. On a Mulda 5, see if he found a card like Collector Oof. Really where he's going to want to be. Force of Will on Stony Silence. Also a very good sideboard card. This land takes out Urza's Saga. Tony has another one. Tomb. A Bowmaster shows up. King's Tony, and really at least puts a price on the degeneracy. Doesn't actually stop it. I think you'd be much happier if that was a Narset style effect. But that said, it's only 2 mana with flash, fits in the shell. See just how that works out. Tony does start drawing cards. He is likely going to have to win that turn. Passing after growing an Orc army. Pretty difficult. And letting it go. Just jamming the Coveted Jewel in the face of 3 creatures. He is just going to play a Coveted Jewel, allow the Orc army to grow, along with taking damage. See what he can do under this restriction. 9 points of life left. That's 8 cards you can potentially draw before things get serious. Copy Artifact. The 6. Drawing cards 3 at a time while netting mana. It's Knight of the Reliquary. I mean, really, any of this is going to be lethal. The fact that he'd be getting the Coveted Jewels is a little bit of a fun bonus. Tony is all in here. 6 life left. This really has to have some type of answer. And he's got to Dismember. Only needs to pay 2 life. Lotus Petal gives him the black. Preserving a little bit of life. Now Metamorph. With that 2 life that he saved. It's all out of life to use here, but 5 blue. Transmuting. Refloating. This is very bad for Jared. That Orc army just chomping at the bit to get in there and do those final points of damage, but it is not looking likely as this Coveted Jewel draws 3 more cards and adds 3 mana. Able to cast Metamorph this time. Paying the blue. Goes down a mana, but still gets the 3 cards. And on the other side of that, Copy Artifact gets that mana back. So a combination of Metamorphs and Copy Artifacts can continue kind of zigzag through the deck. Grim Monolith also picks up an extra mana. It's just rolling here, really getting to see exactly what the deck is designed to do on camera. Another Metamorph, another 3 cards. Jared, helpless, tapped out. Tony with just an absolute mountain of cards. They have more cards in hand than left in his deck. It's basically like Paradox Engine along with any drop, and it is so over. All of these cards just untapping. Be netting like 20 mana play. Takes out the Knight of the Reliquary. Plays a 1 ring. Is he stalled out? Wow. So he's able to kill this Knight of the Reliquary. I'm not sure with what. May have been getting extra black mana off of Mox Opal and Lotus Petal. Let me know if everything lined up correctly. But yeah, he's going to discard. That is a wild fumble after drawing like half of his deck. 2 points of life left. Does have a counter spell. This construct making a last stand here. If Jared can get in there, he's going to get all of those coveted jewels and things are going to unravel hilariously. But no, he doesn't have the attack nor any ability to break on through. No Manifold Key on the other side of the table. Tony goes to his turn, draws a card, keeping Force of Will online, tapping a couple of these coveted jewels for a Seagate restoration, and this has got to get him there. Doubling his hand size, no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. So many cards. I mean, we do expect the game to end the same way with Emrakul. He's just going to be able to hard cast it from here. Have it in hand. Another copy artifact. Copying the 1 ring. And there's the Emrakul. All right. Jared checking the top of the deck. Not a whole lot that you can imagine would get him out of that. Legolas's quick reflex is kind of close. That's interesting. If that was like on a Knight of the Reliquary, that could have potentially done something to break on through. Getting a couple of taps out of it. Wow, that's a real demonstration of the power of this PO deck that Tony's been working on.